Cloutier, he'll cross it to Cook. Cook, one-handed shot!
Unbelievable goal.
This was an incredible weekend in college lacrosse, but there was one clip specifically that everyone was talking about.
Somehow, Cloutier picks up the loose change. He'll cross it to Cook. Cook, one-handed shot!
In their game against Furman, UNC attackman Tanner Cook caught the ball one-handed and scored.
And it was sick, but there's a lot of controversy around it. He clearly is holding the defenseman's stick with his left hand.
Well, it feels like his hand could have got caught up. He's not necessarily holding it down.
It didn't get caught up, man.
Maybe it just got caught up.
Look at it again, zoom in on it, it's clear he's holding that guy's stick. Also, at the end of this episode, we're gonna have a special guest do a high school recruit spotlight. So stay tuned to the end.
Yeah, stay tuned to the end because there's a really cool shout out at the end of this.
So regardless of whether that was a goal or no goal, it got us thinking about one-handed goals in general. As far as we know, they date back to like the Air Gate.
Now to Gary Gate behind. Canaris stuffed it in! Tremendous goal!
The Air Gate was one of the coolest one-handed goals, honestly, of all time, and kind of launched lacrosse into this whole new world. Like the announcers were calling Gary Gate
The Michael Jordan of lacrosse.
It was something that had never been seen before, and it was so good that we're still talking about it today.
You know, this is a guy who is inventing a shot. You're seeing history.
To fast forward to when I was in high school, I was really inspired by Mark Matthews.
Matthews runs away from a pick, gets the switch on Connors. Look at that! Oh my God!
Not only did Mark Matthews have some pretty incredible one-handed goals, he was just really good in general using one hand. He was amazing at swim dodges and just like dangling all over the place one-handed.
Do you remember that one catch he had?
NCAA Lax quarterfinal. Mark Matthews, acrobatic.
I'm talking specifically about that one.
That catch was crazy. Catching it one-handed, turning around, elevator. That was one of the craziest goals I've seen.
Two guys who are notorious for playing one-handed and doing it very, very well are Lyle and Miles Thompson.
Thompson picks up speed.
Gets a step, backhanded shot, Albany leads.
Lyle and Miles really brought an entirely new style, playing with one hand, not just scoring one-handed, but actually just cradling one-handed, walking the dog, toe drags, just being really comfortable playing lacrosse with one hand. It really brought a whole new sense of creativity to the game.
Looking to walk the dog.
This is the creativity factor.
Backhanded shot opportunity, and he sticks it in the corner.
And we've traveled around to a bunch of camps over the past couple years, and we see so many of like the Lyle style shovel passes and just one-handed play. It's incredible to see how Lyle and Miles have influenced the game.
Also, I just really like Lyle's style. It sounds really cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know, not to say that Miles isn't also responsible for this style,
Can't
but like,
you do Miles style?
oh, I guess you
They
could.
both rhyme.
One-handed play is not just in the men's game, but in the women's game as well. Sammy Jo Tracy from UNC, her clips are all over Instagram. Check out this crazy one-handed goal behind her head.
Pass in the middle from Hendrick, who tries to go between her legs. Push in the back there, but an incredible goal from Sammy Jo Tracy.
It's got to be way harder to be one-handed in the women's game.
It has to be, because you don't have as big of a pocket, it doesn't
Yeah.
stay there as easily. That's super impressive. Also, if you don't follow TLN Women on Instagram, give it a follow. If you've been watching college lacrosse in the past couple years, there's no way you could miss Chris Cloutier.
Cloutier now muscling it in, the double comes. Students cross with the left score!
I feel like Cloutier with his one-handed play is just so powerful. Like, he can rip it one-handed.
He probably has a faster shot one-handed than I have two-handed.
You don't appreciate the sheer difficulty of that shot. Take a bow, 45.
That's definitely true.
I wouldn't say it's definitely
No,
true.
it's 100% true.
I'd like to test it.
Nope,
I'm saying
definitely-
maybe
nope,
it's possible
nope, just
that he could get close to.
So we were gonna put a poll in the corner to say goal or no goal for Tanner Cook's goal, but actually we'll do that in the comments. Let us know if you think Tanner Cook's goal was good, and the poll in the corner now, is it this corner, Colin?
Let me
Yes,
think about it.
For sure.
We're
For
in the
sure.
YouTube little box right now.
Yep. Play button's there. So it's there.
That corner.
Cool. Who do you think has a faster shot? Chris Cloutier one-handed or Colin two-handed?
So there's a bigger reason why we wanted to talk about one-handed goals in this episode. During LaxCon, we had the opportunity to have dinner with Paul Gate.
Which honestly would that's like dream come true. That was one of the coolest things. Sitting down at dinner, hearing stories from Paul Gate, crazy.
And at one point during the dinner, he said, "Do you guys want to hear the story of the Air Gate?"
This is one of the secrets you've all heard about. The Air Gate.
Obviously, the answer was yes. And what he told us was that they were playing Penn, and Penn had a really good defense. They ran an incredible zone.
Gary Gate 22, Paul, his brother 19. They're left-hand cannons, and they want to get the shot.
But they didn't play the attackman at X, and so they had an idea, what if we could just jump over the crease and put the ball in the back of the net?
Basically, it seemed like there was no possible path, so they got creative and found their own new pathway to score a goal. Paul told us how much he and his brother would try and insert creativity into the way that they played. And I thought that was a really good lesson to know that that's something you can still do today. How can you work around the rules and do new things that have never been done before? Because the game is still young, it's still growing a lot. There are tons of possibilities for how you can play.
So get creative with your play, film it, post it on Instagram, #TLNNation. We want to see what you guys are doing this season. It's just such a good time of year. Lacrosse season is the best.
Do something new that we haven't seen before.
Also, are we not going to shout out that Virginia won in double overtime?
Conrad.
Aiken, will he go quickly? Aiken with the swim. He finishes. The bench clears. The Cavaliers.
Let's go, Who's?
Oh, now you're a Who's guy again.
I told you, I'm a Who's guy.
You're a Who's guy, then you're not a Who's guy.
I like Virginia.
Whose guy are you?
Okay, man, you're gonna come in with the jokes? You got jokes now?
That was a good joke.
You got jokes? Okay, before we end this episode, a quick shout out from our friend Jack.
What's up, TLN Nation? My name's Jack Coyne. I got a special shout out today. My cousin Declan McDermott goes to Pleasantville High School in New York. He's going to Georgetown next year to play lacrosse. Here are his highlights.
Whoa, first time on the Weekly Watch.
Really well done.
Jack just crushed that. All right, so we're gonna leave you guys with Declan's highlights. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to TLN, comment below, vote in the poll, everything.
Do all the stuff.
Do all the stuff.
Everything. Do it.
And we will see you next week. Peace.